Hey everybody, welcome back to Fussy Cut Crafts. I'm Adrienne. Can you see this? Yeah, you can see part of this fluff ball here. This is Shakes. He's decided not to leave me alone today so I can film. Um, it's Monday. It's the beginning of the week, and I actually had a very good morning today. I went for a drive for the first time, like just an aimless drive for the first time in a long time. And it was really quite enjoyable. And I kept telling myself, I'm going to go, I'll go here. And I said, no, no, no. If I go someplace, I will spend money. And then I thought, well, I could go here. And like, nope, nope. If I go, I will spend money. And then I did go someplace and I did spend money. You just saw a leg, some legs, some feet over here. This is Kima. She had to have her teeth out recently, but she's doing great. I don't know why everybody's up here all at once. Now they weren't here like 2 seconds ago. They weren't here. I turned the camera on and now they're all here. Okay. What I want to do today is I felt like doing something, and I'll get into what I was doing on Sunday because I was going to record two videos on Sunday. Instead, I recorded none. And I'll get into that why I didn't record anything in a bit. But I think what I want to do is I started this glue book, about a month ago, maybe. Um, and it's NHK magazine, which I think is a Chinese news magazine, like kind of a what do you call it, like a Newsweek or a Time, where they cover a lot of different topical issues. That's what I think it is. um, but I got it in a pack of some other old magazines on, I don't know, Poshmark or Etsy or something. Not Etsy, eBay. um because I mean, I know this is, a language, but it's also very artistic, far more artistic than English. If just a regular person is writing it, as far as I'm concerned, most people don't have pretty handwriting, I don't think. But the characters just always look great, no matter who's writing them. It seems like. So that's why I got it, because I like the way the writing looks. And there's a lot of, well, there are some pictures in here, as you can see, but there's a lot of the writing, and there's some faces. And what I've been using is part glue book, as you can see here, and part just someplace to put my scraps, and things I save, like old, like packing tape off of boxes and things, because I like the distressed look. Um, and so, and me just, I like to save weird shaped scraps and things like that from when I do fussy cutting, and a lot of random patterns from clothes and things like that. So I just started using this to stick stuff down. And what I can do from there is either keep it like it is and put it down on a larger piece, or use uh, cut out shapes, random shapes from it, or use a why am I forgetting the word? A punch. I've got I've got like 7 craft punches or something like that that I've hardly used. And I can use those here to just cut out random shapes with a craft punch. So I think this is a really good way to kind of use a relatively, and this is kind of, it's not quite newsprint, but for the most part the pages are matte and not super thin, but also nowhere near being thick, like just a normal um, page weight, I guess. So it's a good way to just get some of the scraps down somewhere and out of, let's see, my binder here that I just created for it, my cigar box that I about thought, oh, this will be excellent. This will be enough room. Guys, it's not enough room. I have so much stuff. And if Shakes could just move off of this other cigar box, this cigar box, which is a lot smaller, where I have fussy cuts and also just random, again, those random bits of fabric textures and colors and patterns and things. So what I'm going to do today is show you how I just glue stuff down. And this is another really good way to get out of your head and just create without thinking about the end product that much. Because I have to say, like things like this and this, I do like how these look as pages, but also if I do cut them into other shapes, it'll also be cool looking. So that's what I'm going to do. Just start sticking stuff down. And we're going to spend a few minutes. Like I really like this. This I cut out from a box. I used it as kind of a frame for this little bit of a, I think it's a ribbon or something that was used to tie a dress or something together. And this little illustration that I cut out. And that's a paw. That's Shakes. Come on, sir. Now, some of the pages are regular magazine pages, like a little bit shiny. But those will work as well. Like I can also do this with, some of my magazines after I finish harvesting all the images I want. I can also do this with, Vogue or Elle or, oh, he's crumbling my pages. Come on now, dude. Or any of the fashion magazines or the other magazines I use. Am I going to have to move you? I think I have to move you. Let's see if he abides by the rule here. He's probably going to jump back up later. So let's go ahead and get started just gluing scraps down and see where this takes us. I'm going to use my good glue, my Scotch permanent glue stick. And I think I'm going to start with the things in the small cigar box. Yeah, see, that's like some kind of sculpture. Just start gluing stuff, of course. Just start gluing stuff down and see where it takes us. Of course, I almost glued it to itself, and then what did I do? I ripped it. Of course I did. I kind of need my little flattener thing. Hopefully it's close enough so that me moving doesn't expose the fact that I'm not wearing any pants, because it's Monday. I don't work on Mondays. This is basically still my weekend. And to be quite honest, since I work from home, I am usually pantsless anyway. So there we go. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a very relaxing weekend. I slept weird a lot of last week, which is my own fault, because this thing I've been doing is, well, this thing I was doing last week anyway. I would fall asleep on the couch, and then when I woke up, instead of getting up and getting ready for bed, I would put on a YouTube video thinking, oh, I want to listen to something while I'm getting ready for bed, not get up, and then fall asleep on the couch again and end up getting up for real at like 5 or 6 in the morning when it's almost time for me to get up anyway. And then, have a couple of hours of sleep. And it worked okay, but I don't want to do that forever. That's not ideal, guys. That's not the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to actually go to bed. If that kind of thing happens once in a while, or once a week on the weekends, no big deal. But I shouldn't be doing that every day. I'm such a weirdo. I do still kind of have this weird thing, like how kids sometimes don't want to go to sleep because they feel like they're missing something. And I guess I guess that's a thing that night owls have too, and I'm definitely more. Well, I don't know. I think I'm more of a night owl than I am a morning person. I'm okay with mornings if I'm getting up to do something fun or if I'm getting up to just relax and putter around and not I don't have things I'm actually really responsible for first thing in the morning. If you try to make me be responsible first thing in the AM, it's 7 or 8 or 8:30 even, which is when I start work. I'm probably going to be kind of salty about it. I'll get used to it, but it's not my favorite thing. I really like a relaxing morning where I can just putter and it's not there's no pressure, which to be honest is how I like most of my days. I like them to be as no pressure as possible, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. But we know as adults, especially, that's just not something that you can count on being realistic for your day to day lives, right? Um, but I definitely have a thing where I like staying up at night. I think some of it is because I kind of like the feeling of I'm awake and doing things and no one else is awake. Even though obviously other people are awake somewhere, but everything chills out and calms down when you get after 10 p.m., especially if you're not near clubs or bars or concert venues or whatever. Things are going to be pretty calm in the streets. So it gives me this feeling of kind of breaking the rules because I'm supposed to be asleep, right? So I still definitely have some of that kind of thing from when I was a kid. And also, my mom was not big on making me go to sleep. I had a bedtime, but if I was laying there and couldn't go to sleep, she'd be like, turn the TV on. I had a little black and white TV in my room, and I was allowed to turn it on and see if that helped me go to sleep, or I could try to read or whatever. She wasn't super strict about lay there until lay there until you go to sleep. That wasn't a thing. And she also, in the summers, I could stay up. I could stay up as late as I want. She did not make me keep my bedtime during the summers. Um, so I had a pretty free willing. I don't know if that's a free. No, not free balling. Not that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I had a lot of freedom as a kid, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I should stop trying to be like fancy about it. I had a lot of freedom. My mom didn't cut me off from a lot of things or say no to a lot of stuff. She was very reasonable about me doing stuff and, you know, trying stuff with the exception of flying. She did not let me fly when I was a kid. That was not part of her ministry. Me or anybody she could stop from getting on a plane, she would stop them from getting on a plane because she didn't do that either. She never took a flight. Every vacation we took when I was a kid was a road trip, which is fine. Road tripping is awesome. I kind of like that there. So I hope everyone had a great, relaxing weekend and that your Monday is going fine, has gone fine, depending on when you see this. I I was talking earlier about how I took a nice drive today and went shopping, despite the fact that that was really not what I wanted to do and was trying not to do. I did it anyway, and I also went shopping this weekend. I went back to the craft resale store uh, here in the St. Louis area, leftovers, etc. And I found another bag's worth of stuff. So spent another $15 on stuff there, and I'm quite happy with my purchases. I've actually got the first round of things from the first round of fabrics that I got the first time I went, which I showed in I think part 1 of my haul video. Those things are actually in the washing machine now. Um, and I'll just keep up with that and do some more of that later today, as long as I can get properly motivated to keep going, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, I don't think, since I had such a nice, relaxing day. Um, so I did that on Saturday, and I also, like I said, because I was sleeping weird and basically falling asleep on the couch, and then waking up here and waking up there, and I fell asleep on Friday night watching YouTube, and it just keeps playing. So I just woke up through the night and watched whatever random video was on until I fell back asleep. I ended up waking up for real at, I think, 5-ish, 5:15 in the morning or something like that. And because I was it was the weekend, I kind of felt awake. I had slept just enough off and on that I felt pretty awake. So I just went ahead and got up and watched a movie. I'm trying to catch up on my movie watching. It's actually something I need to do for work, because I write about movies and TV shows and pop culture and things like that. And I actually have, for the most part, for the past 2 years, not been great about watching new movies or new TV shows, because I got to be honest, I just want to feel comfortable and cozy and watch things that I know are going to make me happy. And I also don't want to spend time watching something and then go, oh, this was stupid. I wasted 2 hours on this movie. And the whole thing was just dumb. Um, but I'm getting back into it. I've also had problems with my internet, so I got a bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays from the library, and I've been slowly going through those. And this weekend, on Saturday when I got up super early, I watched The Day the Earth Blew Up, which is a Looney Tunes movie. So I got that taken care of. It was cute. It was very cute. Um, and what else? So I did that on Saturday. And then, did I go to the grocery store on Sunday or Saturday? I don't remember. I got some groceries one day. And then on Sunday, when I was really truly planning to try to knock out like at least 2 videos, I did not do it at all, because what I did do is I got started. I finally filled out, it's something I've never done before on Sunday, uh, which will benefit me greatly over the next year, especially. I filled out my passport application. I'm planning. I guess I'll talk more about the trip later at some other time. But I've already put. I think I've said before that I already put a deposit down for 2 trips next year, which are super super close together, like shockingly close together. Um, but some opportunities came up, and I was just like, I need to do this. This is exactly what I wanted to do, so I'm going for it. Um, and I'm going to need my passport for one of those trips. So I finally, after years of thinking about it and not doing it, finally filled out my passport application. And I also went ahead and made an appointment at one of my local post offices to for them to look over my documents and accept it. And they'll take your picture for you and make sure that's good to go. Have to figure out what to do with my hair because I don't have like religious reasons to cover my hair. I just don't like doing my hair, and I'm also partially bald from an autoimmune disorder. So it's just easier for me to wear a scarf. Um, and nobody needs to, like, I'm not going through the trouble of trying to like get a letter from a doctor or whatever saying I need to wear a scarf because it's just not that deep. Um, I'm gonna, I need to figure out how to do my hair so that I don't look partially bald, look okay. I also can't wear my glasses, which is, it'll take like 2 seconds to take this picture or whatever, but it'll just be weird to take a picture and not have my glasses on. You know what I'm saying? Because I am not a, what do you call it? I'm not a contacts person. I just can't do it. I can't put stuff on my eyeball. It does not make sense to me. I know that probably billions of people have, wear contacts and have been wearing contacts for, I don't know, since the 80s or something like that, probably. I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. Because just like, what if? What if something happens? It also doesn't help that when I was in college, a girl I was buddies with who lived in my residence hall accidentally put something other than lens cleaning fluid or solution or whatever in her contacts to soak overnight. And she just popped her contacts in and then had to wear an eye patch for like, I don't know, a month or whatever because she accidentally fucked her eyes up. I mean, I can totally see myself having that kind of issue and just accidentally doing something incorrectly, or I would just rather not take any chances with my eyeballs. Is what I'm saying. Um, let's do that. Just cover her with that. Like she's wearing a really bumpy, sparkly blanket or coat or something. I don't mind that at all. So that was a big thing that I got done yesterday. Finally getting my passport application done and getting the appointment made. I have to go later this week and take care of. Well, I have two things to take care of technically. One is I could not get the application, or you have to copy your birth certificate and your ID, whatever state ID you have or government ID you have. You have to make copies of them, and I could not get my printer to make a copy and a printout that was just, oh, which side do I want? Do I want this partial window? Let's rip it in half. There we go. I could not get my printer to just do a normal black and white copy. Would not happen. I tried every setting and it just wouldn't do it. So my birth certificate came out looking wonky several times. My driver's license came out looking wonky several times. And then I read over the instructions for, filing your passport application. Of course, the copies have to be just in black and white. So I'm going to have to take my stuff to the library probably and just make copies there because my printer's being a dick. So I have to do that and also print out my application there because that wouldn't print out in just simple black and white either. Don't know what's going on with that, but it just would not do it. Oh, a little tree, a little red tree. That's interesting. Um, yeah, so I have to do that stuff over again, which I was hoping to just finish all of the process that I could finish before well, yesterday. Just I was hoping to, since I was getting stuff done, just do all of it, and I didn't quite wasn't quite able to make that happen, but it's okay. And I have to you can't pay the what is it, the State Department or Department of whatever. Um, you can't pay them with a credit or debit card. You have to have a check or a money order. Who has checks now? Do you have checks? I don't have checks. I haven't had checks in years. So I'm going to have to go to a bank and get a money order or a cashier's check or whatever they'll give me. So I'm going to do that on Friday along with all the making copies stuff. Do I like that? Do I like this? I kind of like this, but I don't know why. And what else? I mean, it shouldn't have taken all day. If you've never filled out a passport application, it's literally 2 pages. There's, 4 pages of instructions because you have to have like your mother's birth date and maiden name and your dad's birth date. And well, you don't have to, but it's one of the things they want you to put on there if you can. And if you're married or you were ever married, they ask what that person's deal is, and you have to put down a lot of information about them. um and I thought it was going to be a big deal filling out this application, which is why I've never one of the reasons I've never done it before. Because this is how long ago I first thought about getting a passport. It was I actually just picked up the forms, which I don't even think they do anymore. I think you have to do it online now. So that's how long ago it was that I last thought about getting this done. Um, and then I had trouble just printing it in general. And then when I finally got it to print with my information, it wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't just print black and white. There was all these weird color combos. I don't know why that was happening, and even though I changed all the settings and stuff. Um, hmm. Oh yeah, I like that. So it took a lot longer than it should have. For about 2 hours, I couldn't find my birth certificate, even though I knew for a fact I had it. It was not where I usually keep it. And what was really infuriating is that I found the receipt from when I ordered it to have a copy of it in like 2008, probably because that's the year I got married and I needed it for the marriage certificate. That's probably why I got it then. And it should have been with the receipt because that's why I usually keep it. And it seemed like it was just not with the receipt, and it drove me crazy. I had to go through all my papers, or almost all my papers, before I finally found it. Turned out it was in the file I thought it was going to be in, but it was inside of an envelope with some other things, which is why I was unable to find it. It was an ordeal. It was an ordeal. Such an ordeal. Now, I'm glad I got it all done and it's all set and ready to go, with the exception of, making some copies and some printouts and stuff on Friday. But like I said, it did cut short way short, what was supposed to be a day of filming, or an afternoon of filming anyway. And and it was just frustrating enough that when I got done, I was like, fuck it, I'm ordering food. So a stranger is cooking and bringing me something to eat. And you know what? That food was really, really good. So I'm glad I did it. And also I managed to finally get done during what was happy hour for DoorDash. So I got a good deal on some stuff. So I'm happy about that. And I've got leftovers. It's always good if you're going to spend the money on doing delivery to at least have some leftovers. I put something there and had forgotten it. Okay, let's put this down. Should probably be using a separate surface to glue on, but I'm a rebel. What can I say? I'm going to have to be very careful with these straps. There we go. Doot, doot, doot. Ah, yeah, looks great. There's a little more there. So I got that done, ordered some food, put my trash and recycling out. And then I actually managed to watch TV, stop watching TV, get ready to go to sleep for real, and go to sleep for real. Like a grown up. It was nice. I'm going to try to do that more often. I woke up feeling a lot more refreshed and normal than I usually do. So that's good. And then this morning, like I said, I took a drive, which was really nice. And I mean, I was outside anyway because I made a stupid early appointment to get an oil change on my car. And I actually didn't have to leave the house as early as I thought I did. My appointment was for 8. I thought it was for 7:30. And I got there and actually kind of scared the people who worked there because they weren't expecting to see anybody yet. Um, but the result of that is that I got done super early. I think I was there from 7:30. Well, actually, it was like 7:20 when they let me in, and then they were completely done with my car by 9:15 or something like that. After starting at 8, because all the people, like all the employees, weren't even there yet. It was basically just the ones who work in the little intake officey part. None of the mechanics were there yet. But I got that taken care of, and of course, that I mean went fine because all I did was have my oil changed. But turns out my car is getting to the point where it's going to be needing some stuff. Doesn't that always just happen right when you don't want it to happen? I'm going to need 4 new tires. It's not none of these things are urgent, but it's going to basically, unless I catch some pretty good sales and coupons, it's going to amount to over $1,000 worth of, well, this needs cleaning and that needs replacing and this needs fixing and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think any of this stuff is stuff that'll be under my extended warranty. This is just regular kind of maintenance stuff, but I need to look at that. I think I still have that extended warranty. I think it switched over when I got my car. I think I'm really bad about double checking stuff like that. So you can see what I've been doing here. I mean, we've already done. I think these are okay. I think that's basically done. I think that's basically done. It helps that there were a lot of nice color on the page already, and some interesting illustrations and things. I can use more on here. I think I might put something in here or in here, uh, depending on what I find, and I can still put stuff on there. I actually probably shouldn't have. See, this is exactly what I'm not supposed to do. I'm not supposed to analyze it like this. But because this page is mostly brown, I probably should have stayed away from this and this. But those are the things I pulled out of my scrap box, so that's what I put down on that page. And no one's going to suffer because I covered a page that had a lot of brown on it with items that are also brown. No one's going to die. No one is going to die. Just remember that when you're glue booking and collaging and putting all your art stuff together, no one is going to die. if you do it weird, or if you don't like it even. It doesn't really hurt anyone. You don't have to show it to anybody. And you could literally set it on fire if you want to. Just put it in your sink, in your kitchen sink, and set it on fire if you dislike it that much when you're done. And it'll be fine. Or you can keep it like a good little craft raccoon, which I think probably most of us are. You can keep it and cut it up into interesting shapes and use it in a different way, in a different piece. So you, even if you don't like what you originally put down, you can have something different for. Wait a minute. Didn't think I'd see any white people in this magazine. I think I kind of like that. Oh man, there's okay. There's all this color here. This is clearly this is from a. I get the post office magazine where they send you, all the new stamps. They show you pictures and all the other new items and things they sell, and that's clearly what this is. Because this looks cool, but so does this. Screw it. I'm gonna go with the super colorful side. I could probably stand to don't rip. Glue this down more thoroughly, but it is what it is. It'll be fine. No one's going to die if this image gets a little loose. So I am not going to worry about it. Because that's the whole point of this. The whole point. Yeah, I like that. The whole point is not worrying. Releasing the worry, letting the world go, not being super, letting the rules go. Because if there's one place where there shouldn't be strict rules, it's art, it's creativity. None of this is hurting anybody, no matter how weird it is or how dark it is or any of that. Yeah, I like that. And this page, of course, now has just a smattering of glue on it. So I'm going to put something down over here to just cover that up so it doesn't stick to the other page. I mean, I could do this for a week straight, literally 7 days, like it's my job. And I probably would not run out of images still. I mean, I've barely made a dent in this one little. I mean, look at this. I've barely made a dent in this box. And some of these pictures go back almost 2 years. I didn't buy this box that long ago. It was like a little over a year ago, like a year and a half ago that I got this group of cigar boxes, but I already had a lot of those pictures and they're just sticking with me. What's our time? Oh, we are at 38 minutes. So it's probably time to, what's this little, just glue this down. This is one of those things I can put right here. There. That's nice. Okay. So I think that's probably going to be it for today. We got done or started. These 2 pages I think are probably done. This is mostly done except for maybe something in here and maybe something else in here. That I can still add stuff to. This I can still add stuff to. These 2, obviously I can still add stuff to. Was that it? Did I skip ahead anywhere else? I did not. Guess we'll do a little flip through here. So you just see what else I've done in here. I'm really glad I decided to do this because it is, even though, a lot of these images right here came from that little cigar box or the larger cigar box I showed you and haven't made a dent, really. But I am glad There's another one. These two. I'm glad that I decided to do it because it's helpful to have kind of like an art project, those two, that that well, I think all of your art projects, especially if you're doing this mostly for fun, all of them should bring you some enjoyment, um, maximum enjoyment, hopefully. And it's helpful to have something where when you don't know what to do, you can just glue stuff down or just use your cut images and not think too hard about stuff. And these are some of the, I might be a weirdo, but I really like this distressed look. This tape came off of a Amazon box. What else do I have? I think this is an Amazon box and maybe two gourmet. I have no idea. Have no idea what the IKEA. I think there's an IKEA box that's chewy. This is a box from I bought some really cute looking pink toolboxes. That's from the packaging there. Chewy again. I just really like the way this distressing looks. Um, and how it looks over a little bit of type and some pictures. I threw some scraps down under it here because there wasn't a lot of the box material left on the packing tape. I now have another because I don't know where to keep the tape when I pull it off packages. I just put them on the wall in my entryway, which not great, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Um, but also like it's not like anybody's coming to film my house for Architectural Digest or Elle Decor or something. I've got just a normal house that's sometimes, usually, a little messy and filled with art supplies and used packing tape on my entryway wall. Now, this is mostly tape transfers with some scraps. I like the way that came out. Should probably do some tape transfers, a video on tape transfers. But I really love doing tape transfers because I like the way the images come out. You can see through pretty much all of them unless the image is really dark. I mean, look at this. Let's see, right here, right there. You can see the writing through there. Oh, that's a naked lady, naked lady drawing. Just you've seen naked ladies before. We don't need to discuss that. Okay, right here, right here. Yeah, but you can do anything with a tape transfer, and it comes out looking cool, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, look at this, the writing going through her face there, right here. And I did more scrapping, more scrap taping down here or gluing down, like the way that turned out. This one is one I did previously. This is more collage glue booky. I used some scraps and some actual like legitimate images of people and objects that you can tell what's going on. Right here, that's part of a necklace or a bracelet or something I cut out. I also like the way these turned out. So I don't know, get yourself, obviously you don't have to get, a foreign magazine or whatever, but just a magazine or something and use it as, I've seen some people use telephone book for stuff like this, kind of making masterboards and stuff. And it keeps everything in one spot, but it has you use up your images. And it's just a good way to work through, to have a arty day and get something done, but also, and here's the, did I show this one? I think I forgot to show this page. Yeah, started with that one. That's the technically that's the last page because this is the back, because it's an Asian magazine. This is the front cover over here and it opens like this. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This video was longer than I thought it was going to be, but we got some good work done. And what am I going to do now? Let's see. I'm going to take a shower, finish my coffee, cook dinner. I need to cook dinner because I went to the grocery store, specifically picked out stuff to cook for dinner. So I need to cook dinner. Even if I don't eat it tonight, I should probably eat it tonight so that I'm not eating my leftovers that I ordered yesterday today. Just give it a rest for a day and eat something maybe a little healthier. I do have fresh green beans, so there's that I'm going to cook. So make dinner, watch Monday Night Raw, and then probably fall asleep on the couch, but hopefully wake up at a decent time so that, and then actually really get ready to go to sleep for real like a grown up, and then wake up tomorrow and start work. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope it was inspiring, gave you some ideas. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time, probably for more of my September magazine harvest, because I'm actually still getting September magazines in the mail somehow. Um, Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.